One of the most powerful, life-changing things you can do is to stop lying to yourself. Yes, I said it. I really did. Because here's what happens. We get to be a certain age and we let society shape us. We let our parents, our families shape us. So we start telling the story of our lives when we talk to new people, when we talk to friends, when we talk to ourselves. We use a story, and that story is usually some recycled stuff from past experiences that doesn't really fit you. It's as if you're wearing the same clothes from the 8th grade or from when you were 12 today as an adult. So in this video, we're going to take that apart. We're going to address this because I have learned in my own life that the story you tell is sort of like you're ordering from the universe what you want. So if you tell the story that I don't know how I got here, I'm in this job, I'm really not qualified for it, but somehow I got it. And I don't know how it happened. That's not We're not going to say that. If you say, well, I don't know, I've just been living here in my parents' extra room and it's fine. I'm never going to have the money. Let's face it. I'm never going to have the money to live where I want to live. And I'm here to say, I want to validate where you are. I want 100% validate. Wherever you are is where you are. But let's change the story, because sometimes we've outgrown the story. Sometimes that was us 5, 10 years ago. Did you get a job that you can't believe you got and you don't understand why? Do you have a spouse that's so amazing and you don't understand why? Or are you in a situation where you just don't have any money, but yet you're very educated, or you have a lot of job skills and you don't understand why? So the stories we tell are so important, because this is us literally placing our order with the universe. The way you describe yourself is not actually who you are many times, and it's certainly more often than not who you could be. You're limiting the future by saying, I'll never have the money. I'll never be healthy again. I'll never find true love. I've given up. Well, then you're ordering those very things. That's what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's really just words, so why not change them? Why not step into the power of words? Own the power of words. So we're not saying to you that you have to do anything except for change the way you're talking about yourself and the way you're introducing yourself. Play with this idea, play with this concept. If I were to ask you, how would you describe yourself? What would it be? What would you say? This is the old version of the elevator speech, right? If you were in any kind of business thing 20 years ago, they said, get your elevator speech prepared, because you might meet somebody who's able to give you a job or fund your whatever, your idea, and you need to be able to explain yourself. But it's true, because now instead of meet someone to give you that job or meet someone to fund your idea, you're skipping over that. You're going straight to the big universe. Yes, the great big Costco in the sky that can deliver anything you want. And here's the important part. It's going to deliver it to you in the way they can. So when we're manifesting things, we want to just be open. I don't care how you bring it to me, Spirit. I would just like to have it. I would just like to experience it. When we're gripping the steering wheel, or even gripping the manifestation, we're in a tug of war with Spirit. They're trying to give it to you, but you're saying, no, I want it like this. We have to let go. But first of all, we have to put in our order so that they can figure out how they want to supply us with that. So, and this has happened to me, right? How do I describe being a psychic medium, right? I was a photographer for 22 years. Do I just walk up to people and say, yeah, I talk to dead people and make YouTube videos, It's not easy, but it's important, because if spirit delivers the thing, the job, the person, the health, and you're not caught up with that delivery, if you're not online, if you're not in alignment with that delivery, then you're out of sync. And then you start describing it in a way that doesn't make sense. I don't know how I make all this money. No one in my family ever made money. And I don't know, right? Like, you're still not caught up with it. So in reality, you're making all this money because you went to school, that you really tried hard, that you gave up a lot of things that other people didn't give up. In reality, it all makes sense. It's not like you won the lottery without buying a ticket, but we don't give ourselves credit for all the things that we did to get us here. So take the credit. Yeah, I worked really hard to get this job, and I am thrilled with it and blessed. That's a different energy than, I don't know how, I don't know. I try not to bring it up in case they notice that I'm here and they're like, hey, what are you doing here? That basically you're telling the universe you don't belong, that they delivered this to the wrong person because you believe it. That puts you at risk for not holding on to it because you're not in alignment with it. You're not accepting the gift. You're not accepting the delivery of that job or that money. Now let's talk about health. Let's say that you've had a long health series of health issues, and they're real. This is a real deal. This is a really hard situation. Now, if you can shift to, I don't know how and I don't care, but I'm open to any sort of solution for some of my health issues, if not all. Now, I'm not actually saying that we're just gonna, pie in the sky and say, yes, I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna say, I know I'm open to it. You are one part of the manifesting duo. You really can't make it happen all on your own. You need spirit to kind of help you out. And it's really a series of synchronicities, right? It's not always just one thing. You look back and you think, well, if I hadn't have gone to the store and run into that woman who told me about this doctor, and then if I hadn't had the energy to pick up the phone and call the doctor, and then the doctor had a cancellation. So you can understand this is like a series of, you're stepping forward, spirit is stepping forward. You're stepping forward, spirit's stepping forward. But if you have the story of, I will never get better, I'm just never going to get better, Susan, you don't understand, then you're not going to get better. And better could be degrees. It doesn't, I'm not saying that you could have a miracle. Again, I'm not telling spirit what to do here. If spirit wants to deliver a miracle to you, I would kind of open the door and let them inside. But it could also be, I just found more care. I found a way to have less pain. There could be a degree of comfort that would be a new story for you. I've struggled with this for 10 years, and I got lucky and I found this physician and just had this idea. And you know what? Since then, I have just been doing so much better. I'm so grateful for that. Now, you could still be having a lot of problems, but you're holding on to that gratefulness for that one thing, because that's the energy that brings more. It's kind of like gratefulness is finding a 4-leaf clover. When you get one and you recognize it and you are so grateful for it, the universe starts delivering more because you're in alignment with that through gratefulness. You're in alignment with that luck or that reciprocity. So let's try and tell a new story. I mean, let's just practice, right? What is a story that you could tell about yourself? What is a story that you could tell about yourself that's like an alternative version of you? The alternative version of me lives on the beach, picks up seashells, and has a parrot. Now, in your reality, you could live in Missouri and you don't even like birds, but play with these alternate realities because it allows your subconscious to grow. It allows the daydreaming to happen. And then before you know it, spirit could help you end up on a beach. Maybe you don't want the parrot. Maybe you do. Maybe your next door neighbor has the parrot. You are not the only one that's going to solve this thing, but you have to put your order in. So play with alternate realities just for fun, because that's the language the spirit speaks is fun. They don't speak demand. They don't speak this kind of gripping energy that it's gripping, you're gripping air. You're using the wrong communication style to get what you want. With spirit, it's about passion, it's about fun, it's about emotion. So if you can make your emotion bigger, listen to some happy music, make sure you're in a great mood, whatever that means for you, and then play with your alternate realities. My alternate reality is debt-free. My alternate reality is debt-free, and I'm working a lot less, and I have more time to do the things I want to do. That's my alternate reality. Is that your story? That's one of them. That's one of them. You know, you could say to people using that alternate reality, you could say to someone, you know what? I'm really focused and I'm really happy about working to be debt-free and being able to work less. What are they going to say? Good for you, right? Why not use the alternate reality sometimes and just trot it out and see how it works? If nothing else, it'll just be an interesting conversation. But you're literally laying the seeds in the universe's field, the soil. You're laying the seeds for the universe to help you bring all of this to fruition. If we stick with the story of, I never liked this thing about me, I don't know why I have to do this. I don't know why I'm so good at this job because I hate it. Okay, right? Well, that's one story and it's probably true, but it's a very low vibration. So if you change that to, it's so interesting to me that I'm so good at this job because it's not something that I really enjoy, but what I'm in the middle of doing is looking at the skill set and trying to remake that into a new job. And you know what? I'm really excited about that. And I really can't wait to see how everything's going to piece together. Difference in vibration, right? One's hopeful, one is excited, one is grousing, one is negative. And it's just society. It's not a ding on any of us. It's society. It's what we've been brought up with. It's your culture, it's your family life. Again, these are recycled values or attitudes from a time that is no longer present. So create your own unique alternative reality and start speaking it to yourself. Be curious, be open, be grateful for Spirit's help. If you'll do that, you will start seeing synchronicities in your life that you know that Spirit is listening, that new people are showing up, that new opportunities are showing up. And then your job is to keep aligning with the good things that happen, because if we're not used to good things happening, sometimes good things happen to us and we're like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how to, and then you almost have survivor's guilt, right? You almost have guilt. I don't know how I got this nice thing. We're gonna work on that too. I deserve this nice thing. And then see how that feels to you. Do you feel immediately guilty? Because if you do, that means that you don't believe you deserve nice things, or that you're worthy of nice things, or that you feel bad because other people didn't get the nice things that you got. This is all childhood conditioning, by the way. And I would just say to you that everybody else can have nice things or nicer things, but they have to do the work. Again, you're doing the work. You're literally watching the video. You're literally thinking about this. You're literally trying it on for size. You are worthy of it because you're asking for it. It's kind of like if everybody has, energy is free. So if everybody has the same energy and they can use their energy to ask for things, but they're not asking for things, that's not your fault. Energy is free. It's not like you have to have money or anything else. All you have to do is believe that you're worthy of it, and then articulate it to spirit. And then you're off to the races. And you just have to understand that if other people are not ready for this, or they're not choosing this, that is their choice. You turning it down doesn't help them. There's plenty to go around. You saying, no, I couldn't, I'm not worthy, or I'm not ready, that doesn't really help anybody else. This is for you. So work on writing your story, work on playing with alternative stories. Make 3 alternative stories. The key word here is have fun. In one alternative story, you're living on the beach, and another alternative story, you're living in a high rise with all the doormen, all the things, all the perks. Maybe in another alternative story, you're living in a beautiful cottage. And even if you don't want the high rise, I would suggest you play with that narrative. Play with the narrative of things that you're not interested in. Because what it does is it stretches you out. It stretches your subconscious out. It kind of gives your manifestation powers a little workout, because you're playing. Well, what would I do if somebody that I didn't even know existed on this planet, that's related to me, left me a high-rise apartment? Well, I'm pretty sure you would at least go look at it, and maybe you would live in it for a minute just to see what that was like, right? So why not see what it's like energetically? How would you operate in that? What are the cons and what are the pros of each of your alternative realities? You're going to learn a lot about yourself, and you're going to learn a lot about what you really want. And then you can hone that story to the one that you are focused on right now, the one that you want the universe to hear, that you're ready to step into. Because you're going to have had all this experience of stretching your consciousness in all different ways. It'll be a lot easier to go in the direction that you truly want. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if this was helpful for you. Why don't we share some of our alternative stories down below? If you want to play and share some of your alternative stories, please do. We would love to read them. Maybe it will inspire others to have a similar story, or maybe it'll inspire them to have their own story, right? Once they read how easy it is, they might be like, well, this is actually really easy, right? So think about leaving a comment below. If you're new to here, Thank you for joining me. I've got a lot of new subscribers. I really appreciate you. I have new members in my online community, and I appreciate you too. This all came up because my spirit guides were talking to me a lot about the story that I tell. What is the story that Susan tells about her life right now? What is the story Susan tells about her life going forward? And my spirit guides just kind of give me these thoughts and kind of gently lead me and kind of push me on occasion until it all comes out here in a video. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a spirit navigator. And as I mentioned, I have an online community. And last night I was doing 3 hours of readings. If you would like a reading from me, it's only $12 a month. $12 a month is one of my memberships. And I'm there twice a month with you, hanging out, doing readings, working with you and your spirit guides. And then a third time, I'm bringing outside professionals in to give you a 1-hour mini class. All of that for $12 a month. But if money is tight, your story is, Susan, I would love to. I truly would love to, but money is tight. Guess what? You don't have to have that story because I have a free online community. Yes, a free online community. It doesn't have the perks that the paid one does, but it does have thousands of people just like you that want to know each other, that want to support each other. You can find all that on my website, SusanLynnMedium.com. Don't forget, I have my in-person event coming up, my 3rd annual Connect to Empower. It's going to be in the amazing city of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Very spiritual place. I have 6 psychics that are going to be there over the course of 3 days, talking about how to find your inner light, how to connect with the light of your soul. We're all going to be talking on this theme. And our goal is to transform you. That's always been my goal with Connect to Empower. My goal is you come as one person, you leave as somebody different, more expansive, definitely more connected to your power. Okay, so you can learn about that as well in the website. That's coming up in November. There's still some tickets available for that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching to the end. I really appreciate you so much. Take really good care. These videos come out every Wednesday, so hit the notification bell, and you'll know when it's Wednesday. See you again real soon.